Tony, did you enjoy your weekend off?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. I think we all freshened up. Players had 3 days off over the weekend, and I think they all came back with a real bounce in their step. And it was a bit like when you come back from holidays and you see all your schoolmates again, and it's a bit like that. It was a bit silly when we all got back together, and that's a nice way to be.
Looking ahead to the Wakefield game now, what are you expecting from Wakefield? Because a couple of weeks ago it was a club that thought it was probably going to go out of Super League, and now they've been given the lifeline.
Yeah, and they probably didn't, celebrate that in the way that they wanted to on the field, and they come under a bit of criticism from their own. So I'm sure they're looking to bounce back, and I'm sure they also understand that they need to be at their best to come and compete with us, and otherwise it can be a hard day. So I'm expecting a pretty torrid start from them at least, and if they get a foothold, well, then they can make it into a real torrid game. And that's we've seen that happen enough in Super League games this year. If one team's on top, and it's hard to turn it around. So they'll certainly have come with some determination, and we're prepared for that. But we're also prepared that when they come here and play well, that's also what we want. We want that sort of test, and if we get that and are able to overcome that, well, we'll be even more pleased.
As a coach, are you surprised by the timing of these announcements over a club's future at the business end of the season?
Yeah, I'm surprised about all sorts of things. And, I think it's tough. I think it's tough for teams entering the competition. I think it's tough for teams exiting the competition to make those sort of decisions at this time of the year. And I think we need to learn some lessons from how we not reinstate teams, but introduce teams into Super League. There's other sports that have shown us how to do it and give teams 2 or 3 years to get ready, and they make a fair fist of it when they do, and and are well resourced in that matter. And I think we need to learn some lessons from other sports. There's other examples of how to do it, and I think we've probably been an example on in some respects of how not to do it. But in some ways, it shows that the licensing system is working as well. That when people aren't up to certain qualities of business, well, they shouldn't be allowed or entered into a competition, and that in some ways that's the right way of working.
You'd still prefer the franchise system over relegation and promotion?
Oh, without a doubt. Otherwise, we'd have more businesses that more of our clubs are out of business or running on shoestrings, and I still think we need to tighten up some of the criteria and maybe even reduce it even further in numbers and make the standards a little higher. And I think if we did that, well, we'd have a better competition all round and better run businesses. But I'm certainly not a fan of the promotion relegation based on one season. You've seen too many heartaches and train crashes in that respect, where teams have just thrown in money at one stage and not at other stages, and they need to form a whole business and produce players and have good quality facilities and show that they can run things off the field as well as on the field.
You've had the benefit of a week off now. Are you going to make many changes to the team that performed so well against Bradford? No,
is the answer to that. Not too many. Hopefully we might have Solomona back and available for us, which is some good news. We having these weekends off, something that we're not really been used to. Don't have to rotate players anymore. We've got a built-in rotation, built-in weeks off, and we don't have to freshen anybody up and get them ready for the long haul, etc. And we can really attack these last few games and attack them, and know that we've got we're only a couple of weeks away from another break. So that's the way we're going about it this weekend. We know that Wakefield, as we've spoken about, are going to come here determined, but we know that we've got this game and then the next game, and then we have another week off. So there's no holding back. We can really attack these next 2 games with vigour. So whether Briers makes it this weekend, I'm not sure. He's touch and go, so whether we'll err on the side of caution and then put him in the week afterwards, well, that's something that we can decide on. And Moz's ongoing, so he won't be back for this week. So we're not in too bad a shape with only those two boys unavailable at this stage.
You said that Moz is pretty much the same. Has there been any progress in his condition?
Yeah. It's really slow though. Under some exertions and some situations, he's still got some symptoms. So until he's symptom free, we won't be using him, and won't be putting him under any sort of duress to do that either. And as I keep mentioning, his health and sight are far more important than any game of rugby league that I've ever seen.
4 games left. If you win all 4, you finish top of the pile.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That's all within our own hands. It's that's something that is achievable, but the only way to do that is by concentrating on what's at hand and this week. And so the focus is on Wakey. We've had a really good look at them this morning, and we'll be looking at some other aspects of them again tomorrow before we go into finalising exactly our plan for them. But yeah, we're really looking forward to it. We're pleased with our form in the last game, and we're really keen to keep that sort of momentum going. I think it's important. I don't think we had great momentum last year heading into the finals. I think we did some good things just before the end of the year, but we found it difficult to really get into full swing of things. And it's important to us at the moment that we do a good job and do a good job each week. And we've got 4 tough games, and that's what we want heading into the finals.
Well, you've experienced yourself how difficult it is to lift after Wembley. Hopefully the same can happen to Wigan.
Or Leeds, who knows? Nobody knows who's going to be the one that's going to find it most difficult. Sometimes it can be difficult to lift after you've had a loss, and sometimes it's difficult to lift after you've had a win, and all those sort of things. So they're the ones who have to contend both those teams, but I don't think there's any foregone conclusions. It's a game of rugby league again, and we wish both teams well in terms of hope it's a great spectacle and good for our sport, and and a good advertisement for our sport. So, but no, I wish well to both those teams, and hope that they're in good form come the back of the year, and that we're in better.
Have you got any plans to go and watch the final live, or will you be getting the barbie out?
Yeah, no, I won't be heading down this year. I'll be watching it from afar and hoping that the game's a great game. It's a special place to go, and I really do. I've had some enjoyable days at Wembley even when I haven't been coaching the team there, and it is fantastic. So for those people who are lucky enough to go, I'm sure they'll treasure that moment. But yeah, I'll have to put up with the barbecue.
Okay, Tony. Thanks for your time as always.
Thanks, Gary.